is on course for taking a title as well. Let's have a look at the grid, shall we, for this race. It is Thomas Piet versus Daniel Schollenberger, 5.50 and 5.22 on the front row. Marco Winkler and Andreas Frenzel, 5.66 and 5.03, row number 2. Lennart Schreiber and Stefan Grabau, 5.24 and 5.55, row 3. Klaus Barnett, 5.02 and Konrad Bayer, 5.80, round out the top 8 positions, and ahead of Tommy Helfinger. Daniel Yildiz, 5.06 and 5.70 to complete the top 10 places. Andreas Neumann and Heiner Born round out the 12-strong grid that are here with us. So effectively, I'm going to say this now, I think Daniel Schollenberger is the provisional champion after what has been an exciting season so far. Thomas Piet right on the anchors on the Praga chassis. He's done a very good job this weekend, a win in Wertungslauf 1, and now we're on to Wertungslauf 2. So their penultimate race of the season. And then we have Micro, Mini, Junior and Senior for the final time this year. So into the tram lines, revs rise. Do we go green? We have done so. And round the outside, Daniel Schollenberger was like a man possessed. That was a brilliant move round the outside of Thomas Piet. And he knows that this is pretty much the race that could secure him the title, even though with Michael Becker not here, Schollenberger wants to do that in style, but Thomas Piet and Marco Winkler have other ideas, and oh, Schollenberger has dropped the ball. It was like he was trying to catch that was a bit clumsy there from Marco Winkler going into the final right-hander. He nearly T-boned Thomas Piet on that particular occasion. Now he's got Andreas Frenzel right up his back bumper. A bit too over-exuberant there from Marco Winkler on that particular occasion, and that just goes to show how difficult it is to try and wrestle with these karts. And I've got a feeling that the weather might play a part this afternoon, because the rain at the moment is not deciding to make its presence felt on the circuit. They're running in the 48.3s. Thomas Piet has now got a lead of just over 0.6 of a second ahead of Marco Winkler, with Andreas Frenzel just behind. Daniel Schollenberger rounds out the top 4 positions. Top 4 covered by a fraction over a second as we head into 12 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock remaining. Still very much lying astern of these drivers. Thomas Piet is winding up the wick on the Praga chassis. The gap between him and Winkler now has extended ever so slightly to about 0.7 of a second. Andreas Frenzel rounds out the top 3 ahead of Daniel Schollenberger, Stefan Grabau, Lennart Schreiber, Tommy Helfinger, Andreas Neumann, Klaus Barnett, and then also Konrad Bayer rounding out the top 10. Everyone apart from Andreas Neumann and Daniel Yildiz. Well, Daniel Yildiz has had a massive off. I mean, he's way back. He's about 23.9 seconds behind Heiner Born. So Yildiz had a 1 minute 11.4 second lap time. I think he had a massive drama whether he's caught a little bit of surface water on the circuit, if there is any remaining after what we saw earlier on. There are some battles we had, and there is Daniel Yildiz in the bottom of the shot. He's way behind. He's close to being well shy of half a lap down off of Thomas Piet. The battle between Andreas Frenzel, Daniel Schollenberger and Stefan Grabau has now started to increase in terms of the intensity. And here is a move coming, well, was nearly happening there, but Stefan Grabau just launched it up the inside after Daniel Schollenberger tried to put a move on Andreas Frenzel. Schollenberger's gone on the defensive. Tommy Helfinger's right there in person and waiting to strike. And on this particular occasion, yep, Grabau managed to get the advantage, well, nearly get the advantage on Schollenberger, but drops the ball. That allows, oh, that's a great move. Tommy Helfinger just did a banzai attempt up the inside of Stefan Grabau, going through what was effectively turn 3. And it looked rather easy because Stefan Grabau ran a little bit wide coming out of the corner. Not bad at all. Nicely timed, Tommy Helfinger, right on cue. So 8 minutes and 30 seconds still to go in the race, and Thomas Piet is leading, but Marco Winkler is leading a train that is trying to close in on him. But Winkler, last time around, has just lost the best part of over a second to Thomas Piet, who's just put in a 46.452 second lap time. That just goes to show how difficult it can be when you have you have an opportunity to try and get yourself up there. It doesn't quite happen. So 7 minutes and 52 seconds on the clock to go. It is anyone's guess as to who is going to be able to try and close in. I don't think anyone's going to have a chance of getting in to close on Thomas Piet for the lead of this race, which will eventually become the victory itself. So we're getting closer and closer to the halfway point of the race itself. 4 drivers have put in their personal best. Tommy Helfinger, 46.610. Stefan Grabau, 46.703, Lennart Schreiber, 46.907, and Daniel Yildiz now hits the 47.4s, 47.476 second lap time. We've now hit the halfway point of the race, 7 minutes down, 7 to go. But Andreas Frenzel is keeping pace with Marco Winkler, and Schollenberger still in 4th. Helfinger is with them. So this battle for what is going to effectively decide second position on the road. Could be crucial for some drivers. For others, it might be a bit of a tall order, but as they say, never say never. It can happen where one driver will have an opportunity to get that move done, and there is a driver that's made a move, and that is Tommy Helfinger. Has now gotten himself up into 4th place in the penultimate it's the penultimate race of their season. He's done an admirable job despite the technical difficulties he suffered in qualifying. And now we've got this plus one more race to go after this one. Your guess is as good as mine. Who is going to come out on top? Well, Thomas Piet looks to be running away with the weekend victory at the moment, the way things stand. In terms of the championship, this is going to be very, very crucial indeed. So whatever happens next, your guess is as good as mine. Helfinger is hell-bent on getting past Marco Winkler. That could happen at a moment's notice, and it just has, and that's opened things up for Andreas Frenzel. Helfinger has gotten through, taken second, and now we've got a bit more of a battle. Stefan Grabau has just had a Danny Rick move sent up the inside of him, courtesy of Lennart Schreiber on the MS kart. RTM Racing Team Markgraf. So has now managed to get up a position. That's up to P6. Winkler's dropped from second to fourth at the drop of a hat, courtesy of Tommy Helfinger's brilliant move up the inside through the hairpin. Got the job done rather neat and tidy, and opened the floodgates and opened the door for Andreas Frenzel. So two Sodi karts in the top three, make that three with Daniel Schollenberger in the top five. But it's Thomas Piet who still leads the way. He's just put in the fastest lap of the race after lap 12. That is craziness. Crazy pace from Thomas Piet in the 5.50. He's on to lap number 14 as we've got 3¼ minutes to go. And there's been a drama. Who on earth is that? Do not tell me that was Tommy Helfinger. Hang on, was that Daniel Schollenberger? Was that what? I think that was Daniel Schollenberger, who just had a massive drama. That was down the start-finish straight. Oh my goodness. Was there an issue for Schollenberger? But Schollenberger doesn't need to panic, because I think he's possibly got the title wrapped up. In all honesty, he'll be able to celebrate once the final race has been completed. And that's our last race of the season and also of this race weekend. 3 minutes to go in Wertungslauf 2 for DD2 Masters. Some good battling between Lennart Schreiber and Stefan Grabau in the 5.24 and the 5.55 respectively. They're making their way through the middle part of the circuit itself. Got just over 2¼ minutes to go, and the drivers are still very much pushing forward. Marco Winkler trying to close in on Andreas Frenzel, and Tommy Helfinger has got the gap down to about 2.6 seconds between himself and Thomas Piet for the race lead. We have just under 2 minutes to go, and what's more, there is still going to be an opportunity for these drivers to carry on. So 1 minute and 19 seconds on the clock remains. Winkler within half a second. He's within striking distance of Andreas Frenzel. A little bit further back, Daniel Schollenberger battling away with Andreas Neumann. I would have thought that Schollenberger would have maybe decided I wasn't going to make a mistake today. Well, he did, and he put him down in 8th. However, all the drivers are still circulating. Into the last 42 seconds we go. And Thomas Piet is still leading by 2.315 seconds. Andreas Frenzel in third, ahead of Marco Winkler. Stefan Grabau and Andreas Neumann round out the top 6 positions, because what's happened is Lennart Schreiber has dropped all the way down to 9th position at the minute. And that's ahead of Konrad Bayer. So the timer is about to expire here in this race. And Thomas Piet will very shortly be crossing the line and taking the final lap board. That's the sign he needed. Helfinger in second, being chased down by Frenzel, who's got Winkler right behind him. Stefan Grabau rounds out the top 5 positions ahead of Andreas Neumann in the 5.67. Daniel Schollenberger in 7th position ahead of Klaus Parnet, Konrad Bayer. Oh no, sorry, Lennart Schreiber and Konrad Bayer. Konrad Bayer rounds out the top 10. Heiner Born is still running in 11th position, and I would imagine that Tanju Yildiz is also running at that running around this circuit. The final lap board is out. It's a mere formality. Thomas Piet takes the victory once again. He's on the verge of a clean sweep this weekend here at Wittgenborn, but I think that has really much decided it, because Tommy Helfinger in second, Andreas Frenzel, Marco Winkler, Lennart Schreiber rounds out the top 5 ahead of Stefan Grabau, Andreas Neumann. Daniel Schollenberger finishes in 8th, and I think he has pretty much secured the title anyway, with no Michael Becker here this weekend. Klaus Parnet in 9th ahead of Konrad Bayer, Heiner Born. Then hopefully we just have one more driver to come, the 5.70 of Germany's Tanju Yildiz, and then that will be that for DD2 Masters. So DD2 and DD2 Masters still have one more race to go this weekend to conclude their 2021 season. And there is Yildiz on cue, and that is it. So Thomas Piet takes the win in DD2 Masters in the final scheduled race of this meeting here at Wittgenborn, with one more race to go for both DD2 and DD2 Masters to curtail the action here this weekend and for the season.